All right, good morning. Again, welcome to Quizizz. We're going to, please sign in. The link is there. It was also posted on the chat. Let me post it again just in case you missed it. We're going to start off by showing you how to log in or create an account if you haven't done so already. So first things first, to create an account, actually, let me provide some information about it first. All right, again, my name is Servando Navaez. I teach math and computer science at LSL High School. There's my email if you want to ask any questions. The link was already posted. This is going to be an hour or about 45 minutes. Then we're going to the sandbox where you can practice and create your own lessons. All right, so what are the objectives? We're going to create an account and log in. We're going to take a quiz, so that you experience taking a quiz as a student. Then we'll show you how to create a quiz, pros and cons, and then you're going to be able to create your own quiz. All right, so creating an account. In order to create an account, you have to go to quizizz.com. This is a screenshot that I took of the website when I was creating the slide, but it changes from time to time. So yours might look a little bit different. They will always have the get started and the login on the site. So if you want to create an account, you have to either click on sign up or on get started. For those of you logging in, we are right now creating an account. And then we're going to log in. Okay. Here's the sign-in link. All right, once you create on get started or sign up, you're going to get this pop-up, and you're going to log in using your Google credentials. So the school issued email will allow you to link your account to this. So you click on sign up with Google, then you type in your email. Click on next. And if you are signing up, you're going to do basically the same thing. If you already have an account, basically do the same thing, but click login instead of get started. You also log in with your school issued email, and it would bring you to a screen that looks kind of like this. Again, this also varies depending on what they're advertising or the more popular presentations that have been used. So this might change a little bit depending on when you access it. When you log in as a teacher, just make sure that at the end of quizizz.com, you put /admin. Otherwise, you will not be able to log in as a teacher and you'll get the student account. So just at the end, put admin. Any questions so far?
Excuse Servando.
Yes.
So when I log in, of course, for the adult school, it doesn't come up in many things. I have Selena's community, and it's taking me through steps where it's just asking me to confirm my roles. Some of what you're mentioning, I've not seen as yet, but maybe it's because in using my school credentials, Jacqueline Ambrose, that's Selena's, et cetera, it's just asking me different things, or I just need to follow the process and see, because there's not an option for teaching adults, so I select other roles.
I did not get all that. I am not sure.
Okay, thank you.
What I do know is that students sometimes get asked like, what 3 classes are you taking, just to get an idea of what they're enrolled in, but I have
Okay.
never heard that for teachers.
Okay, no problem. I'll follow up. Thanks.
All right, so now we are ready to start using quizzes. We're going to start off by taking a quiz as a student, so you get to experience what it's like from the beginning. So let me share a different tab so that you see what I'm doing. This is what my account looks like. Notice it looks different than the one I showed you before. It changes from time to time. And you're able to choose the different categories depending on what you teach. They're right here underneath the search bar. There's also templates, sample presentations of the different topics that have already been created that you can open and modify accordingly. Now, if you want to get the free ones, just don't click the ones that say premium. So if you look on the social studies category, the third one, the one that says history with the magnifying glass, underneath it has the Thunderbolt and it says premium. So if you don't want to pay for it, then you can use the other ones. There's plenty to choose from. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my library on the left-hand side. By the way, your name should appear underneath the Quizizz logo right here. Then I went to my library and it has the different presentations that I have created. And once you click on one, I selected this presentation that I used previously. So it has 13 questions. This is the one we're going to be using just to give you an idea of what type of questions you can expect. Now, if you look at the top, you can provide this as flashcards. You can assign this as homework. And you can use an instructor-led session. I'm going to do the one on the left. So you have the option of using classic. That's the one where the students are playing against each other. There's a leaderboard. You can customize things, or you can do the instructor pace. This becomes similar to a lesson, but it includes, in addition to having the theme of a presentation like PowerPoint, you can also use the questions that you are able to use during quizzes. So I'm going to show you the classic one. So click on this. Then you're able to select the theme, classic, or test. Oh, by the way, this new feature that just popped up right here, if you have the premium one, then you're able to allow the students to skip a question. Let's say they want to skip question number 3, then it moves it to the end, so they still have to take it. I have not used it. I stick with the basic so far. All right, coming back to this, classic is the one we're going to use. Test is very similar to classic, but many of the things turned off. As a matter of fact, you don't even get the option to toggle them. If you want to change them, you stick with the classic. And then team just uses, you can break the students up into teams. So the classic, you have, again, this right here are the ones that you have to pay for. So skipping the questions. But this is everything on the general free section. So you can determine how many attempts they have, 1, 2, 3, or unlimited. Name Factory allows the students to get a funny sounding name instead of them being able to choose whatever they want. I like this feature because if you have some students that are immature and they start putting inappropriate stuff, it prevents that. You can also allow them to see the answer after the question. You can only tell them if it's correct or incorrect, or if it's a test, you can turn this off and you don't give them any information about it. You can show the answers after the test. You can show the questions after the test, or neither. I keep it neither so that I have other classes taking the same quiz. That way they don't share the answers and questions as easily. Then you can have a redemption question. So basically, if the students got a few questions incorrect, you're allowing them to get a second shot at one of those questions. And then if they get it right, they get the points back. You can also have power-ups. So if you guys ever played Mario Kart, it's kind of like that. Allows you to get more points, allows you to eliminate one incorrect answer, allows you to go to do a retry, or the most infamous one is you make sure everyone's screen is blurry except yours, and that way it allows you to get more points, and because you can answer faster. You can have a timer on the question, a default timer or off. You can have students live reaction, so they are able to click before the test and after, and it has some funny emojis that pop up. They like to do that. The leaderboard, you can turn it on and off. Shuffle questions order, shuffle answer order. You can show the memes of funny comments after whether they got the question right or wrong randomly, or you can create out of the ones here or make your own. Right. The team one, similar idea. You determine how many teams, and once you determine the number of teams, you are sometimes able to change them around a little bit. Okay, let's start with the classic. So here goes. This is where you're going to see how a student would see it. So click on continue. And it's okay if you don't get all the questions right. They are from different subjects. I tried to put one from each. All right, so notice this one looks different than the one the theme looks different than the one I was presenting. You can change the themes right here, default, and these are the ones available right here. And of course, there's some premium ones. So if you could go to joinmyquiz.com, enter the code, and right here at the top right, it would show you how many participants there are. As soon as there is one, it will allow me to start. Or you can determine that it will start in 1 minute. This is a new feature right here. The game automatically start in. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You can have the students react. I turn them off. Now they're on. Students are able to click on the reactions, and then they will fly on the screen. So see, it flew up on the right-hand side. So at the top, it says that someone, there's one of this one that has been used. All right, we'll start in a minute. Again, you can still join even if the quiz has started. Since this is self-paced, you're going to be able to get the same number of points as anyone else that got it correct. Last I checked, I was not able to export the results to Google Classroom. I checked during the summer. I haven't checked recently. We can check later during the session. All right, so it will start about 3 seconds according to this. And you can turn the music on and off. If you haven't joined, the code is at the top center. If you have the premium version, you can also pause the game. As you're taking clicking it, you can show the leaderboard or the questions. So you can take a look at which question has been answered correctly or incorrectly, or overall. And if you take a look at the leaderboard right now, the number next to the flame, that means how many you have gotten correct. So your streak. All right, so far Tarzan is number one because this is a live game. Someone could outtake you later on if they start after you. Then if you look on the rank, which is on the left-hand side, above the rank tells you that there are 13 people taking this quiz and 8 people have finished. So you have an idea of how many are done without you having to scroll down and show the lower scores. So that way you don't have to go all the way down. You just look on the top left.
I wonder if some people were searching these answers because I was like, what is this? I think I missed all the history ones.
I feel you.
I'm like, what? A vacuum? What is a vacuum? It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. I'm like, I don't know.
That was the correct answer to vacuum. You can limit the time to avoid that. Or since you're going to be circulating in the classroom, you can easily notice those things. But since it's going to be things that you have covered, hopefully they know. This one was random stuff that I picked so that I could show you
like,
something from every
Servando,
subject.
you must have had a lot of fun choosing these questions.
and you can change the themes. Students, some of the guys like this one because of the car.
How come I wasn't able to write my own name and I was given some kind of weird name?
Oh, because I chose that option so that in case students put inappropriate stuff.
So they can't put the name, they just get some random weird name. Okay, I got a random weird name. Okay.
You can actually, if you don't like the weird random name, you can choose and it will give you another weird random name. Looks like everything is about vegetables and fruits.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of vegetable that is, though. The one I got.
All right, we have 2 people. Apparently, long stocking is gone. They just sign in, so you can actually kick them out if you see that, oh, it's 0, so that it speeds up the game. And it asks you. Oh, you're there? Oh.
No, I'm saying they got scared.
Oh, they got scared. Oh.
Mr. Navaez?
Yes.
If they do not have their names, or if others cannot identify them by their names, how can they get competitive?
The students are like the ones I put them in groups of 4. So the student is like, oh, I'm this one. So then they start looking for that one.
Okay. So basically, they have to identify themselves.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
But you can also make sure that you can toggle on and off, so they're able to put their name depending on of whether you like it or not. So you can remove the player, and then now we have 12 people out of 12. So Prince just finished. You can always end the game at any point. If you feel like, oh, we're running out of time, you can end it or wait till everyone's done. Right now, everyone's done. I'm not sure why it's taking longer. Maybe because I removed that person. Oh, here it goes. Tells you the first, second, and third places. And then if your name parades at the bottom, that means you got an A. It's not parading. Normally, the cards move up and they parade at the bottom.
All right, who's parsley?
And then it gives you some information. You can replay. You can assign as practice so that they do better. You can review the questions. And then here also, you can see the overview. Of course, once you exit, you're going to be able to see the student names. If you look at the second one was a different type of question. So you can go to that's why it's blue. And then if you scroll over, number 13 is also listed as blue. So what does that mean? Well, let's see the type of questions. Number 2 was open-ended, so you actually have to kind of check those out or put sample responses that they could have. And then the last one was a poll question, so everyone will get that one correct. And here you can also see the type of question on the left. The last one's a poll. Number 12 is a checkbox, and you can see the average time that people took on that one. And 3 correct, 9 incorrect. For number 12, it was there's no cell wall or chloroplast on the animal cell. And here it gives you an idea, okay, people knew this one, right? Everyone knew this one, I don't have to review that one, etc. You can if you go back to the questions, you can also click on this show time taken. It's not very visible right here. It's by the mouth of the walrus. And if you click there, it will tell you how long people took on average on that one. So some of the questions that I assign are mathematical questions, and they're supposed to take at least a minute because they need to solve it. So if you see someone solving it in 3 seconds, that means they just guessed on it. So it gives you some idea like that. And then you can exit, and it will give you information about the quiz. I don't normally share this with the students.
Servando, not these questions.
I'm
Some
sorry?
of these are like, what's the square root of 16? Like, not these questions. These were like a couple seconds.
Oh, yeah, no, these ones are very quick. Yes. Otherwise, you would take the whole time you answering the questions. All right, so once you end it, you can see 78% accuracy. This is on the top right-hand side. 13 questions, 12 attempts, and here it gives you kind of like an idea of what to do. So green is correct. Half green, half dark green, which is the last one, means yet to be graded. Incorrect is the red one, and ungraded, that's a poll question. In this one, you can assign how many points you want for each. From, you can say 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, up to you, and it changes accordingly. So now if you look on the left-hand side, you can see the person name and the funny sounding name that they had. And you can always email this to parents. You can sort it based on, depending on how you want to see them. I sort them alphabetically so that I can enter them into the gradebook. You can, instead of looking at people and what they missed, you can look per question. So on this one, 0 people picked this one, 2 participants picked this one, no one picked that one, and then 10 participants. So it gives you a breakdown of which question was. Which option was selected more. And here it tells you, this is the fill in the blank. It tells you what people were typing in. So some more information that you can look at to see where the misunderstanding is. There's an overview. And you can look at, if you hover over, it tells you the correct answer. And if they chose the wrong one, it tells you which one they chose, if you want to look that way. You can go back to the live dashboard, flashcard, view the quiz. You can download it as an Excel, etc. You can assign as homework. It's right here on the top right-hand side. All right, any questions so far? Can we please see how to grade an open-ended question? I have not tried grading on open-ended questions since the ones I assigned have an answer. I will have to get back to you on that one. Normally, for whenever I put the poll questions or open-ended, that's just for me to see, like, okay, that's what they mean. Sometimes the spelling is a little bit off and they get it wrong. So I haven't used open-ended questions for tests. I have used poll questions to see where they're at, but I don't grade that one. I just check what the responses were. All right, I'm going to go to another tab, unless there's other questions on how to create a presentation or a quiz. So if you go on the top left-hand side, there's this big purple create button. If you click there, it'll give you the options that are available. You can use a quiz, and if you look at what's happening on the right-hand side, it gives you an idea of what you can use on the quiz. So you can have, they're saying take more than 10 type of questions, and they give you a sample of what the type of questions are. And then you can also have it student pace, team, so it gives you a quick explanation of what's going on. And also the power-ups that are available. If you go to the lesson one, this is, again, kind of like you can do a live whiteboard, or you can do as a teacher-led presentation. When you do a presentation, you are able to include a spin the wheel, a randomizer to select people, or you are also able to embed the type of questions that were on the quiz. So right now you're seeing the instructor paste, so everyone sees the same thing, and then you come up to a question and they're able to answer the question on the spot, or they're able to watch an audio, or you can watch it, or you can play it on the screen for them. You can also have it as a lesson, and you see one thing, they see something else, and assess them as they go on each of the questions individually. You can also import forms or Google Slides. So if you already have a slide, you can import that slide and then add a few more things using the quizzes, things that are available. So let's say we want to create a quiz. You click on the top one. It will bring you to this screen right here. This is the screenshot that I showed you during the preview, during the trailer. You can have the questions ready as a spreadsheet. Google Forms, I haven't used it. It's a new one. You can import from other platforms. These are the questions that are available to you. Again, if you want to use the premium one, then you can use the ones with the Thunderbolt. Otherwise, you can select from the other ones. So let's say you want to select a multiple choice. You just click on that one and you get a new screen. You can determine how many points each one will be. Well, and you can change the question. So let's say you selected multiple choice, but then you want to change to another one. You can always change it here. For the question, you would type it in here. That's probably what it said. I'm just typing over. You can insert an equation. So if you click here, it gives you an idea of what's available for equation, symbols, Greek letters, more advanced stuff like arrows, depending on what you want to type in. You can bring an image, so drag and drop or search images. You can do an audio and a video if you have the premium one. Once you're ready to type in the answers, you can type the answer. You can delete options. You can have an image, formula. The check mark is so that you determine which one is the correct one. So let's say it's A. You can click on that one is the correct one. You can see the green arrow. You can add up to 5 possible answers. And at the bottom, if you want to select more than one correct answer, you can toggle that on and it will change this one to multiple choice with more than one answer. You can determine the time. Oh, they brought it down to 5 seconds. So 5 seconds to 15 minutes. And if you want to tag a standard, I normally don't tag the standard. So this is just for quick to determine if they got it or they don't. And then you click save or cancel. I'm going to click cancel since I didn't finish the question. So that's one way. Another way is you just search for the type of questions that you want to see. Let's say you're talking about slope. I want to know what's about slope. I click search and I see a lot of presentations that pop up on the left. If it has premium, that means you have to pay again. Let's say I want to look at this presentation by K.A. Moller. I click on the top one and it shows me the questions that are available for this. If you like the whole quiz, you can add the 10 questions to your quiz. If you, let's say, oh, I only want the first one, you add this question and now this question will automatically show up on your quiz right here. So you can easily see it. Let's say you're looking at vocabulary, colors. You can select the vocabulary colors and basically any topic that you want, it's probably there. You can filter by grade level. When you create a presentation, you don't have to, but a lot of people put the grade level. So let's say you want something 9th and 10th grade, it will only show 9th and 10th. If you want only in certain subjects, smaller quizzes. I have never attempted the languages, but this is what they have available. And then when you're, let's see, that's it. Those are the only questions that you want. Well, let me add one more. Okay, add one more question. Then you can go back here and edit them. So this one, they're saying that it should take them 15 minutes to find the slope. I disagree. I'm going to give them 30 seconds. And I want this one not to be 12 points. I want it to be 2 points. That's it. You can do the same thing for the other one. This one's 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds is good. But this is a multiple choice. I think it should be more. So I go to edit. And then I add one more option. Okay, save. Now it has 3 options instead of 2 options. So it's as quickly as that. And then you have to give your quiz a name. And from here, you can upload from a spreadsheet, etc. And you can add images to your quiz. And they recommend you have at least 4 questions, but you don't have to. All right, any other questions?
Servando, I was looking at the plans, and it says like every teacher gets a free account. It's just if you want a site account or a district. All right, so we all have access to a free account, correct?
Yes, Quizizz is free. If you want to pay, then that would be like it could be you paying or the district paying. Someone in the chat, in the main chat earlier on, they said that the license for the district has nicer features than if you pay yourself.
Right, but we don't have a district site, do we?
I don't know. I've been using it only for free since we have a different. We use Formative at where I work, and we have a license for that, so I've been sticking for that. So this one I mainly use it for quick check for understanding. Okay, at the end of the week, here's 10 questions. I want to know if you got the material or not. Most of them are very basic, so they can finish in under 10 minutes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so some more information about Quizizz. One Pro versus, I used to use Kahoot, and Kahoot, everyone was taking it at the same time. This one allows people to take it at their own speed. So this is very useful for students learning the language, for students with IEPs, or anyone that just takes longer than others. This the time varies from 5 seconds to 15 minutes, so you're able to check to see, okay, I want speed or I want correctness, and that you vary it accordingly. This one allows you to make your own, or you choose from existing question, have it as live, assign it as homework, flashcards, everything that I've mentioned before. Now you are able to do teams. This one was not available before the pandemic, so it looks like after the pandemic and during, they started making things with more options so that they would be able to compete with already existing software. So if you have test mode, you actually require the students to log in. They cannot go with logging in. That way you know who's who. And now it has a lot more options. I like the redemption question because there's some students that weren't unsure, and then you can see like, oh, they fixed it, now they got it, and the streak actually changes. So let's say you got one question wrong, and then you regrouped and got everything right, your streak would not be 100%. So let's say there's 10 questions, your streak could be 7, and I can tell, okay, this person used a redemption question or not. This one tracks student progress. You can randomize the name, you can randomize the question order, randomize the answer. So when they get to question, the one with the flag, oh, it's A. No, you can randomize the answers as well. The memes are always funny. When you're getting them right, when you're getting them wrong, not always funny. You're able to hide the leaderboard or just have top 5, up to you. And on the one thing I like about this one is on Kahoot, students would like their device would not load properly, so they were not able to click on the answer, and it moves on. This one, you're individually choosing every question, every as you go, at your own speed, so it makes it easier for those students not to get frustrated. All right, any other questions? Yes, Marilyn, I like the fact that they're able to see the question on their own device, not just on the screen, especially if you have someone that is blocking your view, and because you want to get it correct, you look up and then you accidentally touch the screen, or for any reason you're able to see the screen on your own device. And if your device is not loading, then you can't click on the correct answer. If time runs out, you get it wrong. I'd like them to be able to see their own answers as well. All right, so now would be the time for you to start creating your own quiz. We have about 4 minutes left in the session, and then we'll have the sandbox where you can actually start creating a lesson or a quiz for when we come back next week. In the meantime, I'll try to figure out how to grade the ones with the open-ended. Okay, so I figured out you do have to get the premium one for you to be able to grade those. I found this on the web. If you go to the questions, then let's say this is the question: we walk to school, and then you have to answer. The answer is have walked, or then so you go to the school responses. It will give you a drop-down box, and then you determine how many points you're giving to that question, and then save. But for this one, it seems to be the premium one. Again, normally I don't use that since I focus on the math questions where you have to know the answer to get it correct. All right, folks, we're going to take a 15-minute break. Hope to see you back in the sandbox session. I'll be here. I'm going to turn my camera and mic off, but I'll be here in the background if you have any questions in the meantime.